A car with no door handles. Context. I was 26 and I'm a lady. I needed gas and it was around 11 p.m. on a Saturday. I pulled into a busy gas station to fill my tank, except it was completely bare with not a car in sight. I also live in Alaska and it was very cold this night, maybe 10 below. Anyway, tired after work and just wanting to get home, I usually start my pump and sit in the car due to the freezing cold, but this time, I had a weird feeling that I need to stand by the pump, so I did. I just started pumping my gas when a little golden sedan pulled up right next to me. I got out and I was feeling hyper vigilant for some reason. He started cleaning his completely clean windows. As he put back the squeegee, he made his way toward me. I felt like I wanted to run, but stayed calm and continued pumping. He asked me if I would help him put windshield wiper fluid in his car because he ran out and he doesn't know how to open the hood. I laughed it off and told him I don't know either, which was a lie. And he kept getting closer and closer to me while trying to lure me into his car by saying there's something under his seat he can't quite reach because he's too big. Now, I'm 5'2" and petite. This man was large and scruffy. Think Alaskan wilderness dude. At this point, I'm freaking out and hit the call button on the pump. He took a step back and started to go back to his car. I thought I was being smart. My gas is almost done. I looked in his car when I noticed the insides of the doors had no handles except for the driver door. At that point, I was even more freaked out. I was putting the pump back and opening my door when he was right behind me, slammed my door shut and yelled, "You're coming with me." I shouted no and was petrified. He grabbed my arm and slammed me against my car. I elbowed him as hard as I could and started to scream at the top of my lungs. Thank God for the gas attendant with a big ass gun that night, because if not for him, I don't know what would have happened. The attendant pulled the video and we called the police immediately. After that guy took off, I never heard anything else about it. I just hope he didn't get some other girl alone. Don't take rides from strangers. When I was about 15 or 16 years old, I was a real party animal. Always the next town over at a friend's place. Most of the time, I was able to stay at their place overnight and head home the next day, but there were a few occasions where I found myself walking home. This walk was roughly 2 to 3 hours long, but if it was a nice night, I didn't mind it at all. It gave me a chance to sober up before I got home. Obviously, my parents didn't know I was doing this. It was just me being a stupid teenager. At the time, there was a good 40-minute stretch that was pitch black with nothing but fields and forests on either side of the road. Every now and then, a car would pull over asking if I needed a ride home. Most times, I would say no thank you and go on my way with no issue. 2 times, cabs had offered me a ride home for a discounted price, and they were both amazing people. They told me about their wives and kids and how I should really be careful walking alone at night. They dropped me off at my house and made sure I got in before they drove away. One night, walking home on that stretch of dark road, minding my own business, a car pulled over in front of me. Not a big deal. This had happened before. As I was about to walk past the passenger side, the window rolled down. A guy in his mid-30s asked if I was alright. He was very clean, handsome, and his car looked brand new. He had a smile on his face and a weirdly friendly tone. Every hair on my body stood up. This seemingly normal guy was giving me one of the worst gut feelings I had ever gotten in my entire life. I backed up from the car as he spoke to me. Being polite, I told him I was alright and not too far away from home, but thanked him for his concern. The smile never left his face, but it was wrong, like it was being forced. He insisted that he could drive me home, and then said, "There are some scary people in this world," and laughed. By this point, my body is screaming that I need to get away from this person now. I faked a smile, thanking him again, saying goodbye and goodnight. I started walking away, pulling out my phone and pretended to call a friend. He sat in that spot for a little while before slowly creeping up beside me again, still giving me that weird smile. "Are you sure I can't drive you home?" I lied, saying I'm talking to my friend and that he was on his way, making sure I kept my distance from the car. "Oh, you can wait in the car with me," he said with a bit of an odd tone in his voice. Yet again, I declined his offer. My skin was crawling, and I'm sure you could hear the nerves in my voice. I continued with my fake phone call, loudly saying, "Oh, you're a few minutes away? Great, you'll see me." The driver's face went completely blank, his smile gone, not a single emotion in sight. He just looked forward, rolled up his window, and started driving away. I waited till he was out of sight before running as far away from that road as I could. I made it home safe that night, although the rest of the walk I was completely on edge, constantly looking over my shoulder and holding my phone up to my ear like I was talking to someone. Obviously, I can't ever really know what his intentions were, but if my gut was anything to go off of, I truly feel like if I got in that car, I would never go home again. So, a word of advice: trust your gut. I'm pretty sure the staff at Hobby Lobby saved my life today. I'm still shaking as I think about where I could have been right now had I not trusted my gut today in Hobby Lobby. I was at the store to indulge in the springtime sale. As I was browsing the entire store, I noticed that I kept seeing the same man wandering around. I thought that he was there with his wife until I realized that he was there alone. I also noticed that he had a Bluetooth headset in his ear the entire time. Not necessarily suspicious in and of itself, but I really started to get a bad feeling when he followed me around the small floral section as I weaved through the aisles. He kept looking at random flowers when I would look at him. I even saw him either quietly talking to himself or talking to someone on his Bluetooth, most likely the latter. I circled through the store several times to make sure that he was genuinely following me and to wait for him to leave before I went to check out. After a while of not being able to see him around me, I went up to the front and got in line. He crept from around a corner and got in line right behind me, still holding the 2 random flowers that he had picked up. The cashier rung up my items when I typed a note on my phone. I told her that I had an online coupon and showed her the note that said, "The guy behind me has been following me throughout the store." She said that she was going to get the manager to verify the coupon. The manager came up, read my note, and said, "With the other sale already applied, we might not be able to apply this coupon, but let's step aside and see what we can do." She took me past the register to get the details while the cashier rung up the man. I told her everything, and I looked back, and the guy is telling the cashier that he forgot something that he wanted. He then goes back to the floral section to add another random ass stem to his items. He looks at me talking to the manager and tells the cashier that he needs something else and leaves the register again to get another random item. It was at this point that I knew that he was stalling to wait for me. The manager picks up on this too and calls up a male staff member to go out to the parking lot to make sure that the man got into his car and drove away. The guy paid for his 4 random flowers and left the store. The staff member came back in and verified that he drove away and offered to be in the parking lot until I safely drove away as well. He came out with me and pretended to grab carts until I had safely made it to my car and left. I'm so thankful to the staff that immediately jumped into discreet action to ensure my safety. Update, February 23rd. I have a few updates to share. After posting getting a lot of people advised me to contact the police, I did. After I told them what happened, they told me that this guy was likely part of a human trafficking team. It was what they call the Scout. who was sent to find a target and was on the phone coordinating a team to grab me in the parking lot or follow me home. They said that these types of operations have specifically been targeting craft stores and places like Target, where women often go alone. They worked with Hobby Lobby and have security footage of his face and license plate. I'm not certain if they have identified him from this, but they've been great at keeping me updated. I also contacted Hobby Lobby corporate and gave them the store number and the names of the employees that helped me. They weren't specific, but they said that they would make sure that the employees got the recognition they deserved.